I'm a fan.
Welcome to this week's episode of Tracking the Wolves with your voice of the Wolves. That's me, Ben Root. Let's look back at the week that was in Northern sports, and we start last Wednesday when the wrestling team dropped a non-conference duel in Dickinson, 32-12. The two Wolves that came away with wins were Joe Gomez and Sean Havlovic. On the track and in the field, meanwhile, NSU student-athletes broke some records over the weekend in Fargo at the Thundering Herd Classic. Mackenzie Hageman took third in the 60-meter dash, breaking her own school record twice at the meet. And Sasha Hovin obliterated a 30-year record in the 3,000-meter run, taking third place in that event. Her time was 26 seconds better than the previous record and good enough to be a provisional national qualifying mark. Meanwhile, in the field, Breanne Jackson had a personal best distance in the weight throw, moving up to 17th in the country. For the guys, Andrew Johnson was runner-up in both the 60 and 200-meter dashes, and Hunter Kopf did the same in the 3,000-meter run. Also, Brandon Krein and Adam Leach grabbed third place in the 800-meter and mile runs, respectively. Finally, the Hoopsters headed south over the weekend for bouts with the top men's and women's teams in that division. After dropping both games last road trip, the Northern women notched 4 home wins to take a little momentum on the bus with them. The teams they were facing didn't care about Old Mo, though. Two of the hottest teams in the conference eked out single-bucket wins over Northern. Augustana took the Friday win 59-57, and Wayne State slid past with a similar final of 58-57. Wolves looked like they were headed into OT in Sioux Falls, coming back from 9 points down to tie the game in the closing moments. A putback bucket, though, by Summit grad Logan O'Farrell with 2 ticks left on the clock sent Northern to defeat. Devin Brecky led Northern with 16 points. Megan Mueller knocked home 13, and Rachel Krogman recorded a double-double with 12 points and 15 rebounds. Northern's D held Augie to a season-low 22 buckets, allowed a season-low 8 free-throw attempts, but the three-point shooting of Augustana propelled them to the win. Team didn't have time to dwell on the loss, though. Next up, it was 22nd-ranked Wayne State Saturday. Again, the Wolves had to claw back into the game, this time falling behind by 13 points in the second half. They slowly inched closer, though, going ahead by 1 on a Krogman bucket with 77 ticks left on the clock. After each team missed a shot, Jordan Spencer took the ball at the high post, saw an opening in the lane, and laid it in for a 1-point lead with 14 seconds to go. A 3-ball from Devin Brecky was off target, and despite getting the ball back on a team rebound with 4/10 of a second remaining, the team could not get another shot away and dropped it 58-57. Krogman finished with another double-double, her 13th of the season, 18 points, and tied a career high with 17 rebounds. Sadie Stotesbury was the only other player in double figures for Northern with 15, as the team tied a season low with only 5 points at the free throw line on a season low 7 shots there. Women also lost despite a plus 18 rebound advantage in that game. They're now 13-5 in conference, 2 games up on Moorhead, still in first place in the North. As for the gentlemen, Northern took part in an epic battle at Sioux Falls Arena Friday, eventually dropping a 98-87 decision to 4th-ranked Augie. The game saw 23 lead changes and 12 ties before the Vikings pulled away in the closing couple minutes. Ty Storson dropped in 18, Spencer Pankinen crammed home 17, and DJ Pollard mixed in a dozen. And then down in Wayne, America, the Wolves got clicking on all cylinders after a slow start, notching their most lopsided NSIC win of the season, beating the Wildcats 85-61. Sky Warwick had 18 to lead 4 players in double figures. Darren Paterka hit for 14, Storston another 11, and Pollard hit for 10. Team was 6-7 from long range, turned it over just 8 times in the win, and like the women, the guys are now 13-5 in conference, but they sit second in the North, 3 back on Moorhead and 2 up on St. Cloud. On one other off-court note, Rachel Krogman named to the Capital One Academic All-District women's basketball team thanks to her efforts in the classroom and on the court. She has a 3.94 GPA, majoring in elementary and special education. That's a look at last week's action for the Maroon and Gold. We'll talk Northern sports here in mere moments with Darren Paterka on Tracking the Wolves.
NCAA championships are something special.
Filled with memories we will carry with us for the rest of our lives.
We ask that you cheer hard for your institutions.
Acting responsibly and courteously towards those around you.
In the spirit of sportsmanship, enjoy the game, and let's provide our student athletes, coaches, officials, and fellow fans the respect they deserve.
Welcome back to this episode of Tracking the Wolves with yours truly, Ben Root. And time to talk a little men's basketball now. And joining us on the show from the squad is Darren Peterka. How you doing, Darren?
Pretty good.
Close by, of course, coming in from Miller. How easy was your choice for where to go to play college ball?
Yeah, that's pretty easy. Nice, close to home, and it's a good school, small school. So,
did all your family members coming out to your games pretty much in high school and now in college kind of factor in a bit there? Or?
Yeah, they travel everywhere to watch all the games, so I don't think they've missed too many games yet.
I guess the toughest part, seems like, talking to some of them after games and stuff, is figuring out which ones to go to for some of them, because you got your games and LeGrand's games here with Logan, and previously Braden was playing at Central, and who else do you have? Kristen's games, I guess, too, right? I mean, you like at home? Do you guys just like watch basketball all the time, or?
Yeah, pretty much. Sports everywhere. So,
what was the toughest part of figuring out to come to Northern? Was there anything that was difficult, or?
Wasn't too tough. Just trying to pick the right school. Kind of liked everything about Northern. So.
Yeah, Coach Sather convinced pretty easily too, I'm guessing.
Yeah, he did pretty good on that.
Usually I like to ask what maybe your favorite place is to eat in town, depending on where you're from and everything, but you're from Miller, not a ton of places there. I guess if we were to go back to Sioux Falls, and you were taking the bus somewhere, where would we go eat?
In Sioux Falls, I'd probably have to go to Texas Roadhouse.
Okay. Cool. Do you have a roommate at Northern?
Yeah, Schreiber and Sky are both my roommates, and then Kyle Jacobson.
Okay. I was gonna say, what's the favorite thing, or what's the best thing about having them as a roommate? But you have a bunch of roommates. I guess what's the best out of the group there? What helps you out?
I don't know. Kyle kind of does all the cleaning in our house, so he makes it easy for us.
And you're, as far as I know, at least off the top of my head, you're the only lefty on the team, right? Or is there somebody else?
Only one.
Do you feel that helps you out sometimes in games, or?
Yeah, it definitely does, because most people think force them left instead of right, because most of everyone's right-handed, so you can sneak a few points off of them.
What's the toughest thing you've had to deal with being a lefty, as far as on or off the court? I guess probably most likely. I know I always hear about complaining about writing and ink and what have you, but
actually, I do a lot of things right-handed more than left, so.
Oh, okay.
So it's not too bad.
So did you teach yourself that then on the court then, or?
No, just kind of the way it was. Anything like throwing or shooting has always been left-handed, and everything else is right.
So you're like a baseball player would swing one way and throw the other. Do you do that in baseball?
Yeah. Hit right-handed.
Okay, so you throw left and hit right. I don't understand you people, but yeah, I wish I could do that. So far, pretty good season, 19-5 overall, 13-5 in the conference. Looking back to the start of the year, is this what you expected going in?
Yeah, it did. I thought we had a really good team this year, so we've had a really good start, and it's been a lot of fun, so hopefully we can just finish strong.
Where do you think you need to improve to make a run in the postseason coming up?
Just kind of be sharper with our all-around games. We got to rebound a little bit better, and we should be fine.
This is tough seeing some of you guys, get dinged for injuries. I know Schreiber I'm sure was looking forward after dealing with injuries the last couple of years and what have you. Is that, how do you kind of adjust to that? You just, I guess, step it up somehow, or?
Yeah, we have a deep bench, so we have guys that can always come in and make plays for us. And this year we've been fortunate. We haven't had too many injuries besides Carter, so.
And as far as some of the freshmen coming in, pretty good class coming in too, and Pollard, and of course he's a redshirt, but and Jake and getting some good minutes there, it seems like too.
Yeah, they're stepping up big for us this year.
What have you, or who have you learned the most from as far as coming into Northern, and maybe somebody that took you under their wings to help you out?
I'd probably say Jared Hannigan from last year. He kind of was always there helping me, telling me what to do. So.
What was his best tip, I guess, for you for playing?
Probably just go out there and just have fun. Just let it come to you and just keep playing hard.
Not to save a year for football or
Yeah.
well, you're a finance major. How are things going so far in the classroom with you?
They're good. Good so far, so.
Do you have a plan as far as what you want to do in finance, or other than make money, I'm sure? But.
Yeah, definitely make the money, but I haven't really thought too far ahead yet, so.
Okay. As we wrap things up here with Darren Peterka, if you're going on a long road trip or stranded on an island somewhere, what 3 books or CDs or movies would you take with you, something to kill time?
Movies, I'd probably have to take Man on Fire. CD, probably have to take a Drake album. And what was the other one?
You can choose a book, or you can choose another CD or movie. Or
Definitely not a book. So probably take another movie. Probably I Am Legend.
Okay. So a big Will Smith fan then? Or?
Yeah.
Legend. Okay. That was the one where his he like had the animals and stuff? He was by himself?
Yeah, it's the zombies.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Just wanted. Zombies are pretty hot. So, all right. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Cool. That's Darren Peterka out of Miller, sophomore with your NSU men's basketball team. We'll be back and look at the weekends, or even the week ahead, actually, in the NSU schedule next year on Tracking the Wolves.
We know you want family-friendly sporting events.
Sporting events where you can be comfortable
and entertained in a positive environment. Watching great individuals and teams compete.
With commitment, effort, and good sportsmanship. That's what the Division II Game Environment Initiative is about.
Be a part of the excitement and find out why.
These student athletes say with pride,
I chose
Division II.
Welcome back to Tracking the Wolves. Time now to check your upcoming schedule in Northern Athletics. Coming up on Wednesday, wrestling squad's going to host Dakota Wesleyan in a non-conference duel at Wachs Arena, and then the team will hit the highway to Mankato Thursday facing the Mavericks in an NSIC battle. Track and field teams are going to head down to Brookings this weekend. They'll take part in the Jackrabbit Open Friday and Saturday, and then the next day NSIC multis are going on in Mankato. And finally, right here in the Hub City, it's I Hate Winter weekend. Wolves basketball teams bring in St. Cloud State on Friday night and followed up with 2 games against Duluth on Saturday. Hot tubs will be courtside both nights. I'm sorry I won't be broadcasting in one, but oh well. Seniors will be honored on Saturday too as the teams play their final home games of the regular season. All the action at ESPN 1420 1071 on ESPNAberdeen.com started up at 6 o'clock Friday and 5 o'clock on Saturday. That puts a wrap on another episode of Tracking the Wolves this week. To stay up to date on the latest Northern sports notes, join me again for another edition next week. And until then, as always, go Wolves.